Hello students, welcome to the class of teacher Meenal Pereira. In this video, we will study about the concept of valency. So let's first study what is the meaning of valency. We have seen the relationship between a molecular formula and the number of atoms of various elements in a molecule. So based on that, we can define valency. The ability of joining to another atom with a chemical bond is a chemical property of each atom. Okay, this also we know, we have studied that whenever there is a formation of a compound, there is a formation of a chemical bond. This ability is indicated by a number, and this number is called the valency of that atom. So if I want to define valency, how I will define? Valency is the ability of any particular atom to form chemical bond with other atom. An atom forms as many chemical bonds with other atom is its valency. Now you can see in this diagram, children, O stands for oxygen and H stands for hydrogen. Now you can see that one oxygen atom has formed two chemical bonds with hydrogen. I repeat, one oxygen atom has formed two chemical bonds with hydrogen. Therefore, valency of oxygen is 2. Okay. Now, generally, valency of an element remains constant in its various compounds. So, valency of oxygen will remain constant, that is 2, whether it is in any compound. Now, what is the relationship between molecular formula and valency? We all know that there is a definite proportion of constituent element in a compound. Certain number of atoms of constituent elements are joined to each other in a molecule of a compound. Consider the example of water. We all know that water is a compound which is made up of two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. So this is a fixed proportion of constituent element in water. Molecular formula indicates the number of atoms of each of the constituent element present in one molecule of a compound. Okay, so from the molecular formula of water, that is H2O, what we can say that there are two hydrogen and one oxygen atom. A molecular formula indicates the information regarding the symbols, that means short form, of all the constituent elements and their respective numbers as subscript. Subscript means here 2. See this 2, how 2 is written. This is called subscript. So it indicates the number or the symbol of the constituent and the respective number as a subscript. So hydrogen chloride, 1 hydrogen, 1 chlorine. Methane, 1 carbon and 4 hydrogen. And magnesium chloride, 1 magnesium and 2 chlorine. Okay, so very clearly we can see the number of atoms of the constituent element from its molecular formula. Moving further, the molecular formula of various compounds formed by hydrogen with each other or with other elements are given in the table. From that, we can find the valency of concerned element. Now, before studying this table, children, you have to understand that, or you have to know that valency of hydrogen is 1 and it always remains constant. You have already studied in lesson atom that its valency is 1 because it has only 1 electron in the outermost orbit. Okay, now let's study about various compounds that are formed with hydrogen. Now here molecular formulas are here. Here constituent elements, H stands for hydrogen and X means any other element other than hydrogen. For example, here X is Cl, here X is oxygen, here X is S, that is sulfur. Okay, so these are the various elements. Then valency of hydrogen is 1. Then we can see the number of bonds formed by other element with hydrogen, and from that we can deduce the valency of other element. Okay, so let's study one by one. First, hydrogen chloride, HCl. Valency of hydrogen is 1, and how many chlorine atoms are here? 1. Okay, so therefore only one bond is formed, so valency of chlorine is 1. Here, H2O, elements are hydrogen and oxygen. Now, valency of hydrogen is 1. Now, with one oxygen, how many hydrogen bonds are formed? 2. So, one oxygen is forming 2 bonds with hydrogen. Okay, so therefore it is, or the number of bonds formed here are 2. So, valency of oxygen is 2. Now, moving further. H2S. H and S. Valency of hydrogen is 1. Okay. Now, one sulfur atom is forming 2 bonds with hydrogen. Therefore, valency of sulfur is 2. Okay. Here you have to understand this. Now, here NH3. Now, you tell me children, what are the constituent? We have H and we have N. N stands for nitrogen. We all know that valency of hydrogen is 1. Now, one nitrogen atom has formed how many bonds with hydrogen? 3. So, therefore, valency of nitrogen is 3. Then, HBr. Br stands for bromine. So, one hydrogen atom, one bromine atom. Okay, so, number of bonds formed 1. So, its valency is 1. Then, Hi. I stands for iodine. Same way, hydrogen and iodine. Valency of hydrogen is 1, and how many bonds are formed? Only 1. So, valency of iodine is also 1. Then NaH. Na stands for sodium. So, hydrogen and sodium. Then, valency of hydrogen is 1. Again here only one bond is formed. So, valency of sodium is 1. Now, coming to CH4. Okay, now the element is hydrogen. Here H will come and here C will come. Please make the correction. And number of valency or valency of hydrogen is 1. Then here how many bonds you can see children? What is the number you can see here? 4. So that means 4 bonds are formed. Okay, so therefore the valency of carbon, that is C, is 4. Okay, so from the molecular formula we can find the valency. The basis for this is the univalency of hydrogen. Uni means 1. Okay, so everywhere children here you can see that the hydrogen's valency is 1. On the other hand, the molecular formula of a compound can be written from the known valencies of the constituent elements by method of cross multiplication. So this is one way where we see that from the molecular formula we can find the valency. Now let's take it in a other way. Now valency is given and from the valency we are going to form the molecular formula by the method of cross multiplication. Let's see how we do that. Okay. Now here some steps we have to follow. It is very easy. Step number 1 is we have to write the symbols of constituent elements. Okay, so to write a molecular formula, you need to know all the symbols. Now here we know that C is a symbol of carbon, O is the symbol of oxygen. Okay, then next, to write the valency below the respective element. Now since valencies are given to us, we will write that for carbon its valency is 4 and for oxygen its valency is 2. Now going to the method of cross multiplication. In maths we have studied cross multiplication. Cross multiplication means what? This has to be, C has to be multiplied with 2 and O has to be multiplied with 4. Here you can see cross. Okay, so now we are cross multiplying and then what we are doing? For C, now this number or for C, what number will come after cross multiplication? 2. Okay, so that means C is getting the valency of oxygen and O, what is the number written? Number written is 4. Okay, so that means O will get the number 4. Okay, so cross multiply to obtain the number of atoms of constituent elements. Okay, so we need to, what it will give us? It will give us the number of constituent elements. That means what you can say from this, what is the number of carbon? The number of carbon is 2. And how many number, what is the number of oxygen? The number of oxygen is 4. Okay, so we can get the constituent elements or their numbers. And then finally we write the final molecular formula. Okay, now here what is the formula we got in the previous step? C2O4. Now 2, we have to see that it's a small number. Okay, so 2 and 4 are divisible. So 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. Okay, so therefore by dividing this particular number by number 2, okay, we get the final formula as CO2. Okay, so let's revise this. Okay, first we will write the symbols of the constituent element. Then after that we have to write the valency below the element. Then cross multiplication to find out the number of constituent elements, and then finally if at all it is divisible, you have to divide it. If it is not divisible, just you have to write the formula as it is. Okay, so this is how we are finding that. Okay, so in this table, same way various elements and its valency is given to us by the method of cross multiplication. Okay, very simple it is. You have to write the molecular formula. So here C multiplied by 1, H multiplied by 4, CH4. N multiplied by 1, H multiplied by 3, NH3. F multiplied by 2, S multiplied by 2, F2, S2. Now 2, 2 is same. So it will go and what we will get? FES. Okay. Here C multiplied by 2, O multiplied by 4, C2O4. So we are going to get CO2. Okay, so when elements and valencies are given to us by the method of cross multiplication, we can find the molecular formula. Okay, so here some questions are given. This we have already discussed. Okay, so you can pause the video and write the answers directly in your textbook. With this we have already discussed. Okay, so from valency we can write the formula H valency 1 and O valency 2. Therefore cross multiplication, H will get 2, O will get 1, H2O. N valency 3, H valency 1, cross multiplication, N will get 1, H will get 3, okay, NH3. And Fe2 and S cross multiplication, each will get 2, 2, so it will get cancelled. Okay, and here the valencies are given to us as hydrogen 1, oxygen 2 and nitrogen 3. So how many bonds it is going to form? This also I already explained you. What is the number of valency? That many bonds it is going to form. Okay, so hydrogen valency is 1. So hydrogen, how many bond it will form? Always it will form 1 bond. Oxygen, the valency is 2. So always it will form 2 bonds. And nitrogen, the valency is 3. So always it will form 3 bonds. Okay, so quickly we will recap this. In this video, we studied about valency, that is the combining capacity of an element, how many chemical bonds are formed. We studied about the molecular formula and valency. That means when molecular formula is given, we can find the valency. And cross multiplication method, that means when valency is given, we can find the cross multiplication method, and by that we can write the molecular formula. Okay, so with this we are through with the lesson. Very important lesson. This lesson is there for 9th as well as 10th standard. So study it very well. Okay, so with this is your teacher Meenal Pereira signing off for lesson number 6. Thank you very much and take care.